सर 2 मिनट में चालू करते हैं।
Yes.
Yes,
Is
पवन।
Surbhi ma'am audible, sir? Pawan sir.
नहीं, सुरभि ऑडिबल नहीं है। सुरभि आप एक मिनट। सुरभि
सुरभि मैम, आपकी आवाज बहुत पीछे से आ रही है, प्लीज आप हेडफोन्स यूज कीजिए। सुरभि मैम।
देखो दिव्या क्या प्रॉब्लम है, फिर चालू करते हैं अपन 2 मिनट।
हाँ सर, 1 मिनट दीजिए, मैं बात कर लेती हूँ।
हाँ, बात कर।
सुरभि मैम, सुरभि मैम, आपको आवाज आ रही है हमारी? सुरभि मैम।
एक काम करो दिव्या, बात करके देखो ना फोन पे।
सर फोन पे बात की, उन्होंने किया है कनेक्ट, तो
मोबाइल से कर लो बोलना कनेक्ट। मैं तो yes, now you are audible. Yes.
so do we have to start the session?
हाँ, एक बार सुरभि का सेट हो जाए फिर चालू करते हैं।
सुरभि मैम, एक बार कुछ बात कीजिए, देखिए आवाज प्रॉपरली ऑडिबल है क्या? सुरभि मैम।
सुरभि कोई किसी दूसरे के लैपटॉप से या मोबाइल से कनेक्ट करके देखो ना, और आप जिससे भी कनेक्ट करेंगे मुझे बताओ, मैं उसको को होस्ट बना देता हूँ।
सर वो को-होस्ट है ऑलरेडी।
नहीं, पर वो ठीक है।
सुरभि मैम।
देखो अगर ये 2 मिनट में होता है चालू, नहीं तो दिव्या आप कंटिन्यू करो।
जी जी सर।
हम्म। सुरभि आप अनम्यूट करो ना। मैंने दिया है आपको अनम्यूट का रिक्वेस्ट। हाँ आप बोलो।
हेलो।
हाँ अभी आ रही है आवाज परफेक्ट।
सॉरी फॉर टेक्निकल इशू।
नहीं कोई दिक्कत नहीं। लेट्स स्टार्ट द सेशन।
Good evening, everyone. I am CS Surbhi Sahu. Welcome you all on the behalf of Amravati branch, Jalgaon branch, and Ahmednagar branch. I hope you all are doing very well in this time. Today we are here together for the on this day, we are here gathered to discuss a window on simplification created in conducting audit under Tally and ledger scrutiny by using Tally software. Ledger scrutiny is part of audit procedure like vouching posting. The scrutiny is required in all type of audits, whether it is the internal audit or a statutory audit. Ledger scrutiny is to be done for all type of clients, whether the same is private limited or public limited company or a concern. Now I would like to invite our branch chairman, C. Pawan Jadoo sir, for his opening remarks.
Thank you, Surbhi. First of all, I welcome today's speaker, Niranjan Ok sir, who is from Nagpur. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and coming at such a short notice to guide us on the automated financial system on Tally. We have with us Jalgaon branch chairperson Vicky Bhai Birla. We have with us Ahmednagar branch chairperson Pawan Bhai Darak. Thank you very much for joining as a co-host in this in this committee era of 2022-25 era. This is our first joint program with Jalgaon and Ahmednagar. Thank you for your valuable cooperation. We also thank Jalgaon, Ahmednagar and Amravati Vikasa for joining in this session. We have with us members from Amravati. We recognize the presence of past chairperson present over here. We have students joins, students team also, Vikasa team also. We welcome you all. Automated financial system is very much required and essential because कभी-कभी क्या होता है कि हम Tally use करते हैं, but we are not using it to optimize the work. We keep exporting the sheets in Excel and keep performing actions on that Excel. So we have with us Niranjan Ok sir, who will guide us how to maximize use of Tally and get the automated financial statement. Without taking much time, I welcome you all and let's proceed. Over to MOC. Thank you one and all. Over to Surbhi. Yes. Saket Bhai, to please introduce our today's speaker. Saket Bhai, are you there? Saket Bhai, you are not audible. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, now you are audible.
Hello.
Please introduce the speaker.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible, Saket Bhai.
Huh, sir, whether I am audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to everyone present over here. I, CA Saket Mehta, an executive member of Amravati branch, feels privileged to introduce our today's very learned and eminent speaker, C. Niranjanji Ok sir, on the topic of automated financial statement in Tally, which is organized by Amravati branch, Jalgaon branch, and Ahmednagar branch of Vikasa of ICAI. CA Niranjanji Ok sir is qualified as MCOM, FCA, CS, and DISA. He is practicing as CA since January 2011. His main area of practice are loan syndication, internal audits, and RERA. He has also founded NDCube Technologies Private Limited in the year 2018. He has also launched Ledger Vision in the April 2019. Due to this Ledger Vision, currently more than 350 members CA firms and more than 1,000 users are availing benefits of Ledger Vision. The aim of Ledger Vision is to do the ease of the doing the audit. So with this brief introduction, we welcome you, sir, on this virtual platform. And I am sure that all the members present in the meetings will take the ample benefit from this techno service speaker. Now over to MOC.
Surabhi ma'am.
I think she has some technical issue. Let's move ahead.
No problem. Thank you, Saket, for the brief introduction. Sir, we heartily welcome you and we hope that we gain a lot of knowledge through your session. Sir, I would like to request you to please take over. Speaker, sir, we welcome you for the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot, Ahmednagar branch, Jalgaon branch, and Amravati branch. I will first share my screen and let's start with the presentation. Okay. So just a small correction. I am not from Nagpur. I am from Pune only, and my partner is from Nagpur, who is the developer of the software. But she is in Pune only, right? Okay. So I am sharing my screen. Is my PPT is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So just to give an idea why Ledger Vision is there and why to use Ledger Vision, as introduced by MOC, Brother Saket sir, I was into practice of loans, and thereby, as a when you provide services to client, you get other opportunities. Like, so I have received more than 21 internal audits at that time, and it was very difficult to complete all 21 internal audits on monthly basis with timely manner, and the reporting is also difficult because some of the clients are having more than 300 crore turnover, so it took 8 to 10 days to complete the scrutiny on monthly basis. And again, when there were exams, final students used to go on leave, etc. So completing scrutiny on monthly basis is very difficult. So then we thought of something. There should be some software aid or some technological aid, and then we started thinking. We have tried a couple of outsourced the software also. Then finally we on in-house only developed Ledger Vision, and then commercially it was launched in 2019. Okay, so let's start. There are two products. Ledger Vision, it was developed in 2018. Ledger Vision recently launched by us. So let's go for product review. So Indigo Technologies is the firm name, and this is me, CA Niranjanov, and this is my partner, who is the brain behind. So she is a British. She was into Britain. She came back to Pune in 2013. Then she was my client. Now she's my neighbor also and my partner also. So she has a lot of experience in SAP and all those software development things. And so I was providing her on requirements, and then she used to develop. So it was a very long process. It take around 18 months to complete the project. Because Tally is very flexible. So, I will stop my video for good streaming. So because Tally is very flexible, it is very useful, user friendly for those who use the Tally as a audit as accounting tool. But it was very difficult for us for developing the audit tool. You will understand why it is developed when I go on explaining the details. Let's start with the. So what is Ledger Vision? What is automated Tally Ledger Scrutiny?
Just a minute.
So why to choose Ledger Vision? It is a computerized. It is having computerized scrutiny abilities with more than 200 inbuilt rules, and it reduces scrutiny time from days to hours. Okay. So it improves accuracy, and also. Okay. So basic idea is it is to focus on tax audit, internal audit, company audit, etc., and to save the time what we are expending in clerical works. Okay, so it supports multiple style of accounting. Now, what is multiple style of accounting? So user can have customized voucher types, or Tally is so flexible you can have any type of grouping. Like even one can get fixed asset under bank, and Tally allows it. Okay. So there is no straightway hierarchy, or there is no discipline in Tally accounting. And we know normally what happens. No competent accountants are available with the client. Most of the time, accountants left. New accountant never follows what we have given, what we have laid down the discipline. So those are the practical problems, and we have to face, because at the end of the year we have to scrutinize that data. So we don't have control on accounting data. Like here said, GST can be kept under purchases, input can be kept under purchases, output can. So our software is configurable, but we cannot say there should be a particular style of accounting, then only Ledger Vision will scrutinize the data. So that's why it is our USP also. Any kind of accounting style we capture. Okay. Now, what is the magic behind? It is very, very super fast. You can't believe it reduces time from days to minutes. I will demonstrate. I will show you how. We have received some of the input from users also that I will share with you. Then data confidentiality is the important feature, because suppose if anyone comes to me for any kind of software, I won't be easily giving my data to him. Okay. Because this software, no internet requirement is there. It is a desktop-based software. Even on it works on education mode of Tally also. So whatever data you pull, it remains on your IT. It prepares the Tally. How Tally company prepares its own Tally data company. Similarly, Ledger Vision also prepares the companies, and all are stored on your C drive only, or in your LAN only. Okay. Seamless Tally integration is there. With a push-up button, we pull entire things from Tally to Ledger Vision system. Scalable, there is no limitations on number of companies. Originally, when it was designed, there were only 22 reports. Then currently now we are putting more than 65 reports. As and when users go on giving suggestions to us, we include everything, and this helps you to helps us also to update our software with the time, and it is configurable. I will explain what is configuration in due course. So there are only 4 steps. You have to pull data, you have to configure. Now this configuration is one-time activity only. Once you have to show the Ledger Vision how the grouping is done in Tally, how the hierarchy of accounting is there, then next time onward it is only plug and play business. Okay. Then we run the scrutiny and it generates report. These reports are visible on screen, as well as you can download all reports to Excel also. So there is an extensive rule engine. We cover basic accounting principle, income tax rules, and company law, as well as GST. So additional, when it was launched, that time GST audit was introduced. Okay. So that time there are some of the chartered accountants, they are into GST audit, but they are not into monthly GST practice. So they requested us to introduce GST two-way reconciliation at that time. Then we come up with the two-way as well as now two-way reconciliation also there. Opening balances reconciliation is also a good tool. It is a complementary tool. It was introduced after when we launched Ledger Vision. It was introduced afterwards, so that's why we called it as a complementary tool. So I will explain that into details afterwards. So what treasury scrutiny reports are generated? Like in case of GST, we scrutinize each and every GST entry. Scrutiny means whether correct rate is used, whether correct GST ledger is used, whether it is input entry or output entry, whatever. There are multiple possible wrong entries in GST. So you can imagine developing an audit tool. It is not sufficient to know the correct entry. You have to imagine all possible wrong accounting entries. Then only software will be able to capture, yes, this is a wrong entry and correct entry should be this. Okay, so defining correct entry is very easy process, but imagining and defining and training the software that these are the wrong accounting entries, it was a difficult task, gigantic task. Then there are duplicate GST numbers, which is manually not possible. If you go through you have to go one by one through each and every. Yes, somebody has raised the hand. Yes, sir, is any query there?
Sir, we will take queries at last.
Okay. Achha, then we segregate the data. So I will show you there is a demonstration. Then we similar fashion we segregate TDS data. We prepare TDS scrutiny, whether no TDS is there, less TDS is there, excess TDS is there, etc. Then basic accounting principles are captured. We segregate data like aging analysis there, all exception reports are there. Okay. Now in case of creditors having, so there are n number of exception reports, like 20, 30 exception reports are there, like creditors having receipt or income entries, debtors having opening credit balance, creditors having opening debit balance, debtors having closing credit balance. So there are n number of problems which are captured by the software. I would like to state that now currently what software is doing, software is showing the problems only. Okay. So some suggestions we have received. Now we are updating our software. Like these are the problems, and if you want to correct everything in Tally, just give us a clarity, give us the go on, because we are not supposed to change anything in Tally unless and until any auditor provide us unless and until any auditor give us a go ahead. Okay. So we give option to auditor only. If you want to change in Tally, automatically you have to just go and tick mark whatever the tick boxes provided by the software, and then we can correct everything in Tally. Like if there is a short no TDS or short TDS is there, we can correct that entry. We can pass provision entries. We can create new ledgers, new masters. We can change the duplication of ledgers, duplication of GST, whatever the problems found by the software will be corrected automatically by the software itself. So this will help you in saving a lot of time while finalization of Tally company. So let's see how it goes. So what are the benefits? One of the biggest firm from Pune, I cannot reveal the name, but they are having, all other clients are in SAP. Only one client is in Tally, and they are having 80 companies in Tally. So sister group companies, they are having 80 group companies. And one of the major company was having 242,000 vouchers and more than 60,000 ledgers. So normally they used to have 10 or 15 days with the team of 1 CA, couple of managers and 8 to 10 articles. That scrutiny is completed by Ledger Vision in only 2.5 hours. That 200% checking. Okay, so that is the beauty of the software. It checks everything 100, goes into deeper details of the scrutiny. And even some of the CS told me that they are using the report generated by Ledger Vision for peer review also. So they maintain everything so that it will be helpful for peer review also. Then we capture accounting mistakes, like in one of my client, one of the employees' son has scored merit rank, so they have gifted him a Honda Unicorn bike. Bike was registered in the name of company only, but it was expensed out through staff welfare. That has been captured by the software. Some frauds are detected. Like one of my client was having, he is into business of manufacturing of corrugated boxes, and the fraud was going on for a couple of years. Whenever the materials got rejected, the accountant used to create false ledgers, and he used to sell those for cash. Okay, so Ledger Vision detected there are n number of ledgers which are not having any kind of accounting entries, or opening balance was matching with the closing balance. Nothing is done throughout the year. So more than 1,000 ledgers were found, and then fortunately fraud was detected. Then we correct GST entries to improve quality of work, etc. So these are some inputs given by the customers. 70,000 vouchers. Manual scrutiny was 7 days. It was completed in 22 minutes. Or for prepaid, that time everybody is required to complete GSTR 9 and 9C. So bifurcation of Tally data, it was very difficult. You have to download everything in Excel. Then you have to, because they want for GSTR 9 they ask for rate wise sale, then total GST on capital goods, total GST on services, etc. So it was very difficult to bifurcate data. That software done in one click only, so it saves a lot of time. So it was Ledger Vision, and then we jump to Ledger Fusion, and we can start with the demo. So while Ledger Vision came into picture, I was also looking for some of those software which will prepare automatic balance sheets. There are some of the good softwares, but their output is some software provides output in PDF format, or some provide in Word format, or some provide in Crystal format. So that was not of use, because I wanted to have some output in Excel format only, with all formulas, all linking, etc. So then, because I'm having in-house team, I have only built a software. Currently, Ledger Fusion is supporting Schedule 3 balance sheet, partnerships, individuals, and consolidation of balance sheet. Then how we will update, we will go for AS, accounting standard base. There are requirements by the users who are having multinational companies also. So as per their requirement, we will be updating. Ind AS is there, we will be updating the software. But currently, basically, Schedule 3 and partnership is our core output, and consolidation of balance sheet is our USP, because it is very time consuming process. in this December only, I have wasted 8 to 10 days in consolidation of balance sheet. So with that time, consolidation was under process of development. Otherwise, I would have completed consolidation in 10 to 15 minutes only. So that's how we can save that time. This is our contact details. You can get demo version downloaded. Ledgervision.in is our website, and you can contact me anytime, whenever you want. Okay. So let's start with the demonstration. So you have to open Tally. Is my Tally screen is visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
Yeah. So you can see there is an option given, client/ODBC server. So ODBC is a platform or gateway or window, you can say, given by the Tally through which one can communicate with. So any software can communicate with Tally through this ODBC server. So you have to activate this. In technological terms, it is known as web services provided by the Tally. So for activating that, you have to go for configurations by pressing F12. You have to go for see advanced configuration. Okay. So in advanced configuration, you have to change this Tally ERP acting as normally it is kept as none. So you have to change it to both, and you have to enable ODBC server by clicking to yes. Whatever the port number, you can use that in our Ledgervision. Okay. So this is the default one by Tally, and then so when you open Ledgervision, okay. So you can see the default port number is here. You can change port number as per your requirement, and then those companies which are open in Tally will be listed over here. So right now there is only one company I have opened. Now important thing is you have to match periods. So if you are going for a monthly scrutiny, you have to open Tally for that month only, and you have to select same period in Ledgervision.
Automatic balance sheet.
So current period for right now is because it is a live demo, I am showing older data, but you will understand how software works. So current period was 18-19, and same period I have selected in Ledgervision also. So first step is you have to pull Tally data. So whenever there is a change in Tally data, any addition of ledgers, addition of entries, you have to pull fresh Tally data each time. In background window, you can see software is pulling data. So data means it pulls vouchers, ledgers, masters, stock items, cost centers, whatever the data maintained in Tally, it captures. So now the speed of capturing data or speed of scrutiny is depend on the size of the data. Like this company is having 2,500 entries only, and so what I was told, if there is a heavier data, like say 20,000, 40,000 entries, so the speed of the software depends on the RAM also. Okay. So suppose there are 23,000 entries, then for 4 GB RAM software, it will take 15 minutes to complete scrutiny. For 8 GB, it will take only 2 minutes, or for 16 GB, it will take some seconds. So that depends on what kind of infrastructure one is having. Because it is entirely dependent on Tally, how Tally supports that determines the speed of scrutiny. So basic requirement is Tally should be running in the background. Okay. Though it is an education mode Tally, no problem. So it has given the message Tally masters are pulled. Now what so I have explained any kind of Tally accounting can be captured. That requires a configuration. So we have to go for configuration. So you will understand the flow of the configuration. This is the okay. So this is the screen where there are 37 categories we have defined on which the ledger scrutiny rules are written. So automatically software captures everything. Whenever there is a default accounting, default groups of Tally are used, everything is captured by the software. Like you can see bank accounts are mapped automatically in front of bank. So some rules are written on bank accounts. If you choose to, by default, if you choose capital account in front of this bank account, software will run bank rules on capital account. So it is very, very important to map correctly. Group should be correctly mapped. But you can see this is the capital one to now. Whenever there are changes in the default name of the group, software will keep the field as blank. If you go to Tally, you can see some of the names are changed, like capital 123 is not a default name, loans liability no is not the default name, fixed asset WIP is not a default name. So all these groups software is unable to capture because it is not that intelligent software. Okay, so then you have to guide the software. You have to go, you have to take a drop down and you have to select those. So either if that group is not available in Tally or name has been changed, then it will be shown as NA or blank. That at that time you have to manually enter them. Okay. Two important things are you have to see whether GST inputs are kept. By default, duties and taxes is mapped in front of the GST input and output. But suppose if GST input is kept under, say, purchases, then you have to go find the purchases, and then you have to take, then software will understand, okay, it has to find all GST ledgers under purchases. This is how it works. Okay. Then some expert accountants prepare their own voucher types. Okay. So if the default voucher types are not used and if software is unable to take care of the voucher type, then it will list it down. So we have to guide the software. Like this is the default list of Tally voucher types. You have to guide software. Okay, whatever the name may be, you have to go to Tally, see the treatment of accounting, and select correct one. So this is the contra, and this is new CN is the credit note only. Okay, so I have gone to Tally and I have captured, see how the new CN is work. It was used as a credit note only, so I have given the credit note as an option. Then software will understand, okay, whatever the name may be, whatever user has guided, it will work accordingly. Okay. Now you can see there are 3 buttons available. First is the help button. You have to just hover your cursor on the button. It will give all the instruction what I am explaining. Everything will be written. And if you want, you can play the audio. So how Google Maps provides you assistance on similar basis, our software is also providing the assistance. Let's jump to. Then I will show some of the important configurations only because my interest is to showing you the results of the software. But you have to understand how software works, and then how you will understand how the results are generated. So it is jumping to next level configuration. So firstly we have completed group level activities. Then now we are working on. I have jumped to next level. Let me go back. So in this page, it captures whether it is a company, HUF, person. Okay, because for TDS on rent, the status of the Tally company is required, and it captures the state of registration of GST also. In GST mapping, it maps all the GST ledgers. So now in this case, they have segregated the data. What is the input ledger? What is the output ledger? What is the rate? Everything is mapped. So software is capturing accordingly. Suppose only CGST, SGST, and IGST ledgers are used, then software determine as combined. But whenever the ledgers are debited, it will be treated as input. Whenever they are credited, it will be treated as output. And suppose no rates are mentioned in the name nomenclature, then software determine or treats it as a combined. So there are 4 ways. Either software captures rates from GST ledger or from expenditure ledgers, or from GST rate classification maintained in Tally, or from stock items. If nothing is mentioned anywhere in Tally, then software performs iterative calculations, and it will determine whether the correct rate of GST is used or not in every accounting entry. Okay. On similar basis, TDS mapping is done. So you can see there are many ledgers which are not related to TDS. But what happened? We have mapped the groups where the TDS ledgers are kept. So all the ledgers are mentioned, but they are kept as NA, and only TDS ledgers are mapped. Like from the nomenclature only, it is mapping whether it is all the categories are given in drop down. So it is mapping 194A, 194C, etc. But suppose only TDS payable ledger is maintained and all TDS payable entities are routed to one ledger only. In that case, it is very difficult to determine what is the category of the expenditure and what is the TDS category should be used. Then for that purpose, there is another configuration next page. In generic configuration, these are the values that determines, like that depends on the audit materiality of the that Tally company. For example, for capturing capital expenditure routed through P&L account, I have given the threshold limit of 5,000. You can change the threshold limit depending upon your audit materiality. So these are the asset related keywords. These are the asset exclude keywords. Means these are the revenue related keywords. So software reads the narrations, and suppose it has found that entry is of more than value of 5,000, then it reads the narration, and it has found revenue related work, then it will skip the entry. But it has found asset related keywords, then it will see whether the amount is debited to P&L account or not, and then accordingly it will raise the query whether there is a purchase of asset or if there is a sale of asset. But one has to keep in mind, suppose the Tally company is having business of computer related goods, then you have to remove this computer, laptop, printers kind of words. So you can add or delete the words as per your requirement. Okay. Now some people ask me what will happen if there is no narration maintained by user. So my answer to this query, if narration is not maintained, then there is no option. You have to go for vouching only and see what kind of transaction is that. Otherwise, it was very difficult for manually also to determine whether it is capital expenditure or revenue expenditure. Okay, I will show important configuration. This is the last page. So it takes only 5 to 10 minutes to complete the first 5 configurations. So I will explain how creditors work, then you will understand the hierarchy. Like these are the creditors, and you can see all creditors are not they are not maintained GST number or PAN number for all creditors. Okay. So whenever there is a GST number mentioned, it is captured by the software, and software detects whether it is within state or out of the state. Again, GST number also contains PAN number, so it determines whether the company is person, HUF. Otherwise, you can manually change the status. If nothing is mentioned, then software goes through the entries. If IGST entries are posted, then it will be determined as out of the state. If CGST, SGST entries are there, then it will determine it as a within state. But if no GST entries are there, then it will be showing that it is in-8. So no GST entries are passed to these creditors. And if nothing is maintained, no GST or no PAN number is there, by default we determine the status as firm, because in case of 194C we have taken a conservative view. We calculate TDS on the at 2%. Okay, but if you know that these are the person at, like, if you know the person, you can change it to person. If you know the status of the person, you can change it manually also. Okay, and suppose you have received TDS declarations from transport agencies, then you can take one of the those creditors, so that software will not calculate TDS for those declarations. And if you know the related parties, you can take the related parties also. So related parties option is available in creditors, debtors, then in loans and advances and loans liability. Okay. So I will jump to important TDS related important configuration, and we will run the script. So these are some small configurations. There are videos available on. I will show the link of videos also. Okay. So this is the list of all P&L accounts and all fixed assets, and software is capturing categories. So if suppose there is only one TDS payable ledger is there, and every TDS entry is routed through that TDS payable ledger only, then it is very difficult to bifurcate data based on categories. For that purpose, we have given the categories. So software automatically detects categories based on nomenclature. But if there are some spelling mistakes, then software will not give any category. For that purpose, user has to go through for once whether software has determined all categories correctly or not. For example, sometimes by going through word interest, software may give interest on TDS payment category of 194A. So you have to manually remove the category by this drop down only. Okay, you have to just tick or untick the category. Then there is option given. Software automatically determines whether provisions are required or whether prepaid entries are required. Again, you can determine the frequency, whether you are going for monthly or quarterly or 6 monthly audit, and you are going to finalize the monthly quarterly data of the client. Then you can see whether they are preparing monthly provisions or monthly prepaid entries, etc. There are two options given. One is for depreciation, because we have to prepare addition and deletion of asset table. In that, if depreciation is not determined, then those entries will be considered as a deletion of asset. That's why it is very important to determine depreciation. Again, transport is also there. Why transport is required? Because in section 48A3, there is a limit of 10,000 for cash payment in a single day. But in case of transport, the limit is up to 35,000. That's why it is very important to determine. Again, number of entries option is given. For example, in case of electricity bill, suppose my client is having a factory, godown, office, and showroom also. So they are having 4 electricity meters. And if you say 4 entries per month in this column, then software will see whether minimum 4 entries are there. If lesser number of entries are there, then it will raise a query. If excess number of entries are there, again it will raise the query. Okay. In liability group, there is a list of all loans. You can see cash credit, term loan, overdraft, NBFC, etc. And accordingly, you can have a related party transaction also. Whenever there is a loan from friends, family, director, partner, on that basis also we prepare 216 and SST report. Again, in current liabilities, I go to drop down, you can see we capture TDS, GST, PF, ESIC, MLWF, PTRC, etc. So this is helpful for preparation of 43B report, which is required for tax audit. So this is it. This is the configuration. So we have taken care any kind of accounting. Okay. You have to just go to the tally company, see how the grouping is done and where the TDS and GST ledgers are kept, where the provisions are kept, and just you have to map all those things. Now, there is scrutiny is very flexible. We have given the options also. If you want to run only GST scrutiny, suppose you are going for filing of monthly return, so just run the GST scrutiny on monthly basis, check all the entries correct, all the entries, then only file the return. So you will file correct return each and every time in case of TDS or in case of GST also. So right now I am going for entire scrutiny. So till scrutiny is going for, if anybody is having any query, I can answer it. In background window, you can see scrutiny is going on. Anybody having any query? Or something is there in chat box. My voice is low. I'm
Sir,
audible.
you are audible, sir. Earlier it was
Okay.
low, now it is perfect.
I think my mic has the mute button. I have accidentally clicked it.
Yes, sir.
But it was audible, na? What I have so far.
Yes. You are perfect, audible.
Okay. So scrutiny is going on. It takes around 40 seconds to complete the scrutiny. Let's see what happens. Okay, so scrutiny is completed. It has taken only 37 seconds to complete the scrutiny. Manually, this company used to take around 3 to 4 hours for 100. That too not a 100% scrutiny, because it is a regular customer. We know what to check. So, important things are checked only. But you can see 100%. This is the overview given, how the data is maintained. Let's see whether 100% is done or not. So you have to go to tally in statistics, DSS. So it explains a number of ledgers. So 911. So software has checked 911 ledgers and 2485. So though there are 2489 entries, out of which 4 are cancelled, those are not scrutinized by the software. Only 2485 are scrutinized. Okay. So 100% checking is done. Software is saying balance sheet was matched at that time. And in case of GST, 780 entries are passed and 33 are failed. In case of TDS, so this gives overview. There are categories, and you can see how the data was maintained by the client and how the queries are raised by the software. Okay, and all the reports can be shown from this. These are the hyperlinks here. You can click and you will jump to the report like this. You will jump to report and you can jump back to home button. Acha. You can download all reports from this button. These are the buttons which help you to download all the reports in Excel. Okay, so it is very easy to handle the reports in Excel. So you can download analytical reports, GST reports, tax audit related reports. So I will explain some of the report on screen and I will explain some of the reports on Excel based. Okay, so let's go to TDS scrutiny. So this is the basic scrutiny. You can see all bill references, voucher numbers are kept in. This is because we are working on totality basis. Suppose, for example, in case of 194C, we see whether any particular entry is having more amount of more than 30,000, or if the total amount is crossing 1 lakh rupees, then only we check the TDS. Okay, and here we provide the status. Suppose we select only fail entries, so we'll get all those areas where TDS is not deducted. Like in this case, software is saying fail. Why? Because no TDS is deducted. Is the status of the TDS. And you can see log is saying interest on unsecured loan. Now, in this case, what happened? They have paid interest on unsecured loan directly to HDFC Bank. So no party is mentioned, no creditor or no money lender is mentioned. So we don't know to whom they have paid the interest, but we have to raise the query. That's why we have considered that HDFC Bank as a party only for the purpose of scrutiny. And at that time, the rate of TDS was 10%. In previous year, rate was reduced by 25%. So software was updated accordingly. So software is saying on payment of 18,000, there should be 1,800 rupees as a TDS. Or in this case, now from where we capture TDS, so there are some 8 to 10 areas like advances to creditors or payment to creditors. In some cases, we have found that advances to debtors or payment to debtors also. then provision entries, prepaid entries, direct cash payment, direct bank payment, fixed assets, loans and advances. Whenever there is a possibility of TDS, we capture depending upon how you configure the company. So configuration is the key area of this scrutiny. Now you can see this audit fees payable. If I jump to Tally, I can show you. Audit fees payable. Okay. So this is the entry where 50,000 was the entry and they have deducted only 2,000 rupees. Software saying there should be 5,000 rupees at 10% at that time. So, or in this case of Chandan Singh, 1% is the rate. Okay, because Chandan Singh is the individual. And let's go to Chandan Singh. So Chandan Singh, okay. We have to go for column because there are multiple entries. I select complete period. Okay. So you can see the total payments made is 1,66,500 and total labor charges entered is 1,66,500. So whichever is higher. If payment is higher, then we capture the TDS on payment basis. If expenditure is higher, then we capture TDS on expenditure basis. So only 500 rupees are deducted under 194C. Software is saying 1,665 should be deducted. They have deducted only 5. So this is how we capture the wrong TDS entries. Then we have given the party-wise TDS summary. So here all parties are listed. Whenever there is a direct payment, cash or bank will be captured. Then TDS, which TDS ledger of Tally is used, that has been mentioned in the list. Then what is the category of TDS, what is the rate of the TDS, and what is the amount of the expenditure, what should be the amount, what is actually deducted amount. Okay, and if it is pass or fail. But most important report is TDS expenditure, where we have clubbed both the results. So these are the categories. This is the rate. These are the parties and these are the expenditures. So all expenditures and fixed assets are listed. And status is also showing whether TDS is liable, not liable, short TDS, excess TDS, whatever the status is given in the column. This is the total expense amount, and those amounts are bifurcated, like expenses having TDS and expenses not having TDS. Okay. So expenses liable to TDS are shown in particular column and not liable expenses are shown in different column. And here we are showing what should be the amount of TDS and what is the actual amount. And we are also calculating disallowance for those. Okay. Now you can download this report to Excel from here. And for preparation of 34A table, you have to just use pivot table to category and you have to select the correct TDS. So either you correct the TDS entries or you can have the direct 34A report also. Just you have to use pivot table on category. So you will get category and expenditure wise TDS details that can be used in 34A table reporting of the tax audit. Let's jump to tax audit reports. So in cash sections, in case of 48.3 for normal payment, normal means other than transport charges, 10,000 is the limit. So we take total of the day and this is the date, this is the party, and payment of more than 10,000 in a single day is effected. So that party is listed in this. So you can get like here the transport charges, they have paid 39,000 in a single day. So that is listed over here. So you will get 269 P, SN, and ST also. Okay. So all the possible payment problems are captured, payment queries are captured. And then probable unsecured loan is a unique report. So you must be knowing there is a practice of money lending or money borrowing. And if suppose the data is huge, like in Market Yard of Pune, this report is suggested by one of the senior CA only. So he was having a couple of clients from Market Yard having huge tally data, like 30,000-40,000 the debtors and creditors were there. And common practice of money lending and money borrowing was there. So at that time, they used to hide all details under debtors and creditors. So it was very difficult for auditor to go through each and every ledger and see whether any 269 SST reporting is required. So he asked me if you can provide me a report where only receipt and payment entries are there. So no JV, no purchase, no sale entry. Those debtors and creditors where only receipt and payment entries are there. That helps to reduce and shortlist the details. Then if you can go through the list. If you know the regular parties, you can ignore. If you find something suspicious, you can discuss all those ledgers with client and you can get these ledgers under 269 SSNT reporting. Okay. Related party transactions are there. So the group of the parties, ledger name, from where the expense or income is affected. Now, relation or nature of party, nature of transaction, software is not able to determine from mere tally entry. So we have kept it blank. User has to fill it by having discussion with the client. Other details are provided. What are the voucher types? What is the voucher number, date, and amount, etc. Okay. Now statutory dues. So 43B table is there. So we will have ESIC, GST, TDS, TCS, PTRC, MLW, etc. I will explain only ESIC so you will understand how software works. So in the month of April, you will find the due date is 15th of April. So this is not the due date for the month of April. This is the due date for the opening balance. Means it is the due date for March. Okay. So this is the due date for April. This is the due date for May, and so on. And let's go to Tally to understand the report. We'll take a monthly view. So what was the opening balance? Closing balance of March is 5357. So opening balance is 5357 to be paid before 15th of April. This is the actual credit of the month. So in the month of April, the credit of ESIC was 2260. Okay. Now we have given two additional columns over here. So if payment is effected before due date, those will be listed in this column. If payment is effected after due date, those will be listed in this column. So you can see voucher number 23, date is 16th of April, and amount paid is 2486. Okay, so this is the voucher number 23. Date is 16th of April, and amount paid is 2486. So instead of 5357, they have paid only 2486. That too, they have delayed the payment. So entire amount is considered as paid delay, and then for 1 month delay, we have calculated the interest also. And if the interest is not paid, they have continued with the same kind of payment, then cumulative interest is also calculated. Okay. And this closing balance is matching with the Tally closing balance. Okay, so amount is matching with the Tally. But it is requested you should tally this report with actual challenge and returns filed by the client. Okay. Again, just come. It is a 269 SST report. So all the ledgers are listed. If GST or PAN is maintained in Tally, that will be reflected over here. Then what is the opening balance? What is the closing balance? Whether it is squared off or not, and then whether now how receipts are affected through cash or bank. Now this when bifurcation is
Sir, I think there is some network issue. Niranjan sir.
Hello.
Sir, network. Niranjan sir. There is some technical issue. Just a minute.
कौन भाई कॉल कीजिए ना.
हाँ किया सर, मैंने कॉल किया. He is doing. He has some network issue. He is joining from another device. Sir, he is joining from another device. His battery got discharged.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Now you are
Yes,
audible.
sir. Yes. So sorry, I have to restart my
No,
laptop.
no problem, sir. Please carry
I
on.
will
Share your screen, sir.
share my screen. Okay. Okay. So now I will explain everything on Excel only. 1 minute. I will just open everything again.
Sir, your screen is not visible.
Yes, I'm sharing. It is low, taking some time. Sharing correctly. Mhm. One minute. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry, some problem.
No problem, sir. सर आपका 2 लॉगिन दिख रहा है इसमें.
अरे बाप रे. I don't know which one should be.
ठीक है ना सर, आप शेयर कीजिए ना.
I will just share. It is not allowing me
yes.
to share. That is the problem.
नहीं, मैंने दोनों को कोर्स बनाया है सर.
Okay. Is my screen is visible now?
No sir.
Right. So it is showing me that I am.
Yes sir.
Okay, it is still working on sharing only.
सर उसमें क्या ऑप्शन आ रहा है शेयर स्क्रीन में?
शेयर का बटन प्रेस करने के बाद वो राउंड एंड राउंड ब्लू रिंग इज देयर. I am also saying to zoom at a time.
कोई एक बंद कर दीजिए सर, एक ही से
एक बंद कर दिया.
आपको कोर्स बना दिया सर. यू कैन नाउ शेयर योर स्क्रीन.
वो मुझे शेयर स्क्रीन पे आने नहीं दे रहा है.
एक बार दोबारा करके देखिए.
सपोज मुझे मिल गया उसका प्रॉब्लम. यू वांट टू.
हाँ
ओके,
हो जाएगा.
अभी हो गया ना?
यस. ठीक है सर, कंटिन्यू सर प्लीज.
शेयर हो गया?
हाँ सर, टैली नहीं दिख रहा है अभी आपका, ये लेजर विजन का दिख रहा है.
ओके, तो मैं
टैली भी देख लीजिए.
हाँ दिखा. अभी टैली दिख रहा है?
हाँ दिख रहा है सर. यस.
Great. So sorry for the interruption.
नहीं.
Now again this will give me opportunity, like you can see, you don't have to go through entire process again. You can jump to previous result directly. So you have to just press this previous result button and software will provide you whatever results already shown. Okay, let me jump to Excel reporting. Now I will explain all GST and other reports in Excel only. I will just share that screen also. So I have opened the GST results. Let me share that report. So this is the report. Okay, my Excel screen is visible now.
Yes sir.
Great. So like this is the GST result. Like in TDS you have seen we have kept voucher number etc. NA, but in GST we check each and every voucher. So voucher number, date etc. is there, and there is option given whether the entries pass or fail. Pass means current GST and accounting entries. There fail means there is a problem. So in this case, software is saying entries fail. Why? Because GST posted is not matching with the expected GST. So technically, CGST posted is 27,500 and actual SGST is posted 22,500. So technically, both should be of same amount. So it is a problem. Or in this case, party is missing some wrong entries there. Or in this case, okay, this is very interesting. In this case, GST posted is not matching with expected GST. Why? Only CGST is posted, no SGST is mentioned. Okay, so let's see in Tally. What is the name of the Acme system? So all figures should be there. That is wrong. There should be in. Okay. So this is the entry where you can see both CGST ledgers are same ledger is used twice instead of HGST, CGST. So these kind of entries are captured by the software. So as I said, you can go for monthly checking of the entries before payment or before going for filing of return. Then GST ledger summary is there. So this is a summary which is matching with the summary of input-output ledgers in balance sheet. This report is provided to satisfied user that each and every GST entry has been captured. If there is any problem, if the amounts are not matching, then something is problematic in configuration. You have to go back and configure everything again. Party-wise summary is there. So if there is a direct cash, the direct receipt or payment to cash or bank, then we consider that as a party. And then party-wise details are segregated, like GST rate is there. So amount of the transaction is there, whether it is input CGST, SGST, IGST, or whether it is output CGST, IGST. But most and again most important report is this. Now this C and D column is entered manually by me for GSTR 9 and 9C. So this is the data segregation of all P&L expenditure and fixed assets, and it is segregated like name of the ledger, rate of the GST amount, and again CGST, SGST in input-output format. So suppose I am filing my GSTR 9, so they required us to give details about rate-wise sales. So you have to select only sales group. Now, fortunately for this company, only one rate is there, but there can be multiple rates of sales also. So you have to select this sales, and then you have to have a pivot table on GST rate column. So you will get ready-made bifurcation of data. Again, in GSTR 9, they ask us to give details of total GST on services, total GST on capital goods, and total GST on services. So these are the list of all direct and indirect expenses and fixed assets. User has to read ledger heading or nomenclature and go on writing whether it is service, whether it is capital goods, whether it is normal goods, because there are in all 55 ledgers. All 55 ledgers we have to bifurcate or club in 3 categories only. So go on writing whether it is service, capital expenditure, or normal goods, and have a pivot table on C column. You will get details of services, GST on capital goods, and GST on. Again, you can have bifurcation of rate-wise details also. Now, in GSTR 9C, in table number 14, originally in 2019, only 10 headings were available. Now that they have updated the form and there 18 headings are available now. So again, problem with me is I have to fit all these 55 ledgers in those 18 headings only. So if this data is bifurcated by software in 37 seconds only. Now it is your work. You have to go on writing correct applicable head from table number 14. Read nomenclature of the ledger, and if the matching category is available, go on writing those categories. Otherwise, place other expenditure category in front of the ledger where the matching category is not available. And then have a pivot table on this D column. You will get data bifurcated as per the table number 14 of the GSTR 9C. Now, how all these detailed reports are derived by the software? This is the GST detailed report, which is mother report of the software for GST. Each and every voucher of the GST is bifurcated. Like what is the GST type, what is the month, okay, what type of the entry GST entry, what is the group of the ledger, what is the name of the ledger, what is the GST number. This is GUID is for our reference. If any problem is if query is raised by the user, then we can determine that entry with this number. What is the voucher number, what is the date, whether it is pass or fail, whether GST is matching or not. GST log is there, supplier invoice number, voucher type is there, purchases, means group is there, whether it is purchase, sales, indirect expense, or whatever. The ledger names are there, whether it is GST applicable or not, that is also considered. So entire daybook is there. If GST is not there, it will be detailed as false. And whether input output ledgers are used. So each and every GST entry is bifurcated on the basis of this report only other reports are generated. Now, if you are having any data which is having stock items, unfortunately, this company is not having stock items. But if at all stock-wise accounting is done, then we also bifurcate it, because one of the important client is Kirloskar Cummins is the group having Kirloskar Cheddar is the company which is on Tally still, but having a huge data, and their big four one of the Big Four auditors, they used to ask them to bifurcate data in this manner, what I have just shown you. So they used to spend 20 days with the team of 8 to 10 people to bifurcate each and every voucher, and then required details like what is the stock item, what is the billed quantity, what is the HSN code, what is the HSN master name, what is the rate mentioned in tally for stock item, and what is actual GST rate is used, and so on. So we have updated software for their requirements, and now they only take 15 minutes to complete the report, which what they used to take 20 days. Again, RCM is there. If you configure the expenditure ledgers, there is a drop down available for RCM column. Now, why RCM scrutiny is not done by software? Because there is varied styles of RCM accounting. Like in cases, some cases they have Excel working and they only pass final entry, or some cases they use control ledgers for RCM accounting and then they transfer the entry and there is a credit. So instead of that, Sarvesh Joshi sir from Pune said to me like, okay, instead of capturing whether the entry is correct or wrong, you provide what is the correct RCM for that particular month. So we provide what should be the RCM for this transport charges in the month of April, May, June, whenever there is a data available in Tally. So that auditor can compare these details with actual RCM working and see if there is any deviation while accounting. Okay. Then another additional report is aging analysis. I will share that also. Achha, if Excel is the, if my report is visible now. One minute. So is aging analysis is visible now?
Yes, sir.
Why I'm asking, because I have not option of sharing entire screen. I have to share each and every window. That's why I'm asking.
No, it's visible.
So my actual requirement is to have an aging analysis on bill-wise accounting basis. Original report was designed on the basis of bill-wise accounting only, but then many companies were there. People were saying, no, your closing balances are not matching with our balances, and that is because you must have experienced that. I can say 99% of the cases they don't use bill-wise accounting meticulously. Normally they have a system of bill-wise accounting, but most of the time they pass on accounting entries for payment of receipt. So what happened? If we go by bill-wise aging analysis, our closing balances were not matching with their closing balances because they are posting on account entries also. So their balances were different than ours. So Sarvesh sir again said me to go for FIFO method, but I am updating my software. Like we will be giving option whether you want FIFO method of aging analysis or bill-wise, and if they choose bill-wise accounting, to the extent possible, we will bifurcate data based on bill-wise, and whatever the balance is available, which they have entered through on account basis, we will use that data for FIFO method. So that will be a correct method of aging analysis. If they have not bifurcated data based on bill-wise, then how a software will bifurcate? Then we have to have a combined method of aging analysis, bill-wise plus FIFO method. Anyhow, so let's see. This is the creditors details, whether the closing balance is in debit or credit, that I have mentioned over here. What is the amount, and then baskets are given 0 to 30, 30 to 60, etc. But important one is creditors voucher details. Here you can see I am having filter of creditors here, credit balances, and I have filtered out the number of days more than 181. This allows me to have details of all opening balances or vouchers. There are vouchers, voucher number, date, and amount here. So as per rule 37 of GST rules, you have to reverse the input credit taken if you have not paid that payload for more than 6 months, like 180 days. So this ready-made data is available here. Similarly, data's balance are shown. Next report, which is also very important, analytical reports. Let me share the report. So analytical reports are most of the time exception reports. So you can see this is the accounts. Achha, each Excel report is having index, and because I'm using an older version of Excel, but these are the hyperlinks. You can directly jump to the particular report, or you can jump back to index also. Okay. So first report is accounts squared off. So these are the accounts which are squared off during the year. Then these are the accounts having no GST or PAN. Now, as I said, we are providing you the opportunity. You have to just go on writing correct GST number over here, and we will automatically update the ledger master. Then asset addition deletion report is there, which is a tax audit table also. So name of the asset, whether it is addition or deletion, what is the voucher number, what is the date. Then number of days are calculated in case of addition from date of addition to 31st of March, or in case of deletion from 1st April to the date of deletion. Then what is the amount? And if narration is there, then narration will be provided. Then creditors with receipt. Now these are the exception reports. These are the creditors having receipt entries, or these are the creditors having income or sale entries, or these are the creditors having purchases and having no purchases. So we can go through. If you find a regular parties but with no purchases, then you can ask the query. Or debtors having no sales, or debtors having payment entries, or debtors having expense entries. Okay, debtors having purchases. Then duplicate GST. This is the report which is not possible to find out these details by manually. So you can see same GST number is used to different ledgers. Okay, for Acme system or for Agni devices. Okay. So there is a query in GST. Let me see if I can show you how the GST number duplication raise the query for this Agni devices. One minute. Agni devices. Okay. So what happened, because the duplicate GST number was there, software is saying though GST matches, software is saying it is fail. Why? Because software is saying CGST and SGST applicable, but IGST posted. Now accountant knows Agni devices is the out of the state entity, so there should be IGST entry. Still, software is saying there should be a CGST, SGST entry. Why? Because software is going through GST number. Okay. So if I go to this Agni devices Delhi, though the address is from Delhi only, the number used is GST number of Maharashtra. So software is saying if the GST number is from Maharashtra, there should be CGST and SGST entry. Why you have posted IGST entry? So either you have to change the GST number or you have to change the entry, whatever the correct treatment of the entry. Okay. So then duplicate PAN number are there, duplicate vouchers. Duplicate vouchers means narration, date, voucher number, amount, everything is same, then it will be treated as duplicate. Duplicate entries are there. Acha, this is the report requested by many people, like they want the bifurcation of expenditure where cash element is there. So we have shown only those expenditure where the cash is involved and the data is bifurcated. So there can be a receipt also. So that's why minus entry is there. So wherever there is a cash component is involved in direct expenses, indirect expenses, or fixed asset, those will be shown over here. Then comparison of expenditure, expenses having. So this is the comparison on monthly basis, and this is the comparison of expenses affected other than creditors. Okay. So through debtors, to loans and advances, to duties and expenses, whatever the expenditure. Expenses with receipt is there, higher discount. Now you have to decide the maximum discount amount in generic configuration. Then only software will compare the discount details. Income comparison is there. Income with no debtors is there. So n number of entry reports are there. Mapping error. Mapping error means software shows the errors in configuration of system only. Income having payments. Accounts with no transaction. This is the report. Opening and closing balances having same amount. Then also we provide details of bill-wise accounting also. Now this company is not having bill-wise accounting. This is the most important. Again, software, some kind of virtual or artificial intelligence we have used. Software reads the amount, like I have stated, the amount threshold for capital expenditure is 5,000. So if the entry is more than 5,000, then it reads the narration. It has captured the keyword PV and it was repeated to purchases 18%. Okay. So software is saying verify whether it is purchase of asset entry. Now this company is into business of maintenance of ATM machines. Then this query is correct by TV. Now after inquiry, they have clarified that they have purchased that internet TV stick, Fire TV stick, but TV word has been captured. Narration only saying it is a Fire TV stick, so you can ignore. So beauty of the software, it states whether states the queries passively. You have to take active decision whether if you know the client, if you know the audit mortality, if you know that it can be considered as correct entry, you can ignore the query raised by the software. Similar cases, it is a sale of asset entry. Switch and rack plate is the narration. So rack word is found. Amount is more than 5,000 and it is credited to sales ledger. So software is saying verify whether it is a facility. Last report is additional scrutiny report. I will show some of the reports only, like prepaid expenses or provision entry. In case of provision entries, this is the important provision and prepaid entry. If at all there is an entry, software will give details, the voucher number, date and amount. So suppose in case of March, it means all March entries are pending before finalizing the tally company. You should post this.
Sir, you are not audible. And your slide is also not changing. Hello. Niranjan sir. Niranjan sir. Again, network issue. Sir will be joining in 2 minutes. I think after a long gap, we are on the online platform Zoom again. That's why there are few issues. हाँ करा सर ठीक है.
Again,
Yes,
my
sir, you are
internet-
audible.
yes, my internet connection was unstable.
No problem.
Okay,
Sir.
so I have explained laser vision. I will now jump to laser fusion. All important reports are explained, so I will skip laser vision and jump to laser fusion. Okay.
Okay, sir.
One minute, I will share the screen also by opening the. Okay, I will just open a Tally company. And let's jump to laser fusion, which is an automated Excel-based Schedule 3 partnership, etc. So balance sheet preparation tool, which is recently launched 2 months before.
Sir, your screen is not visible.
Not yet shared, sir. One minute.
Okay.
Not yet shared. I'm opening the software, then I can share. Okay. My Tally. I'm sharing my Tally.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yes, sir. Let me open the company only. Okay, so this is the demo company. This is my latest client only, and I will just open Laser Fusion. So now you understand how software works. Same basis, Laser Fusion also pulls the data and do all same things. Again, my screen share is paused. 1 minute, and again share the screen. So Laser Fusion is there and Tally is there. Okay, so Tally is visible.
Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
Yes. So this is Laser Fusion. You have to select the company. Achha, there can be two options. Either one company is having previous year and current year data. You can have a current period in separate company, previous year in separate company. Okay. So accordingly, you have to open both company or a same company in same Tally. You cannot have two different Tallies. You have to open all the companies same Tally only. And then you have to pull current year data. For that, you have to select same period in Tally as well as in Laser Fusion. So you have to select the company and period. I am not wasting time in pulling the data because I am having ready-made data with me. Similarly, you have to pull previous year data. You have to select that company. Again, you have to go to Tally and change the period for previous year. Okay. So in this case, I will be using previous year period. Then only you can pull the previous year data. Otherwise, software will pull the current year data only. And then you have to decide whether it is a Schedule 3 or whether it is partnership firm. Okay. So this is the Schedule 3. And whether it is a head office or not. If it is a head office, then you have to select the number of classes of the shares, and you have to select the number of promoters, etc. And you have to download configuration. Okay. So once you press download configuration, I will show you ready-made downloaded configuration here. It is an Excel file. I will share that document also. So it is an Excel file, and again 98% work is done by software automatically. I will just minimize this window. So you can see, firstly, there are questions asked. This is the information which is not available in Tally. Okay. So name of the company, address, dean of the company, name of the director, dean of the director, resignation of the director. Again, auditor's details are there. Okay. Dean is their place of signing, etc. And what is the authorized capital number, current and previous year, value per share, Then what are the classes of share issued, their number, current and previous year, details of the promoters holding, etc. And then you have to configure this. Now this data is ledger group and then ledgers, name of the ledgers, etc. So ledger hierarchy is group, subgroup, subgroup, and then ledgers. Okay, and then the data of previous opening balances, previous closing balances, current year opening balances, current year closing balances. Okay, because I have to prepare current as well as previous year balance sheet also. And now you can see there are drop downs given. Software is automatically mapping. Like in case of Sunday creditors, it has actually mapped trade payables. Okay, so in case of trade receivables, it has automatically mapped for debtors, trade receivables are mapped. You have to state whether it is outstanding more than 6 months, because I am pulling a closing balances only. The software is not able to determine whether it is doubtful, whether it is less than 6 months, more than 6 months outstanding, etc. Okay, so this is the note list. When you prepare one or two balance sheet, you will understand the hierarchy. These are the notes. Like for example, in reserves and surplus, there are sub notes available for capital reserves, redemption reserve, capital redemption reserve, then securities premium, etc. Okay. So similarly, in long-term borrowing, options given whether for bonds, debentures, term loans from bank, all these are options given by MCA 21 only. So we have used their options as well as what are normally used in Tally grouping. Everything is captured over here. So software maps everything automatically. You have to make sure it has mapped correctly. For example, in case of deferred tax assets, many times I have seen there is a spelling mistake. So software is unable to map those details. So you have to go to indirect expenses, see whether it's deferred tax expenditures there. You have to go to current assets or current liabilities, see for whether the deferred tax liability or deferred tax asset is mapped. So it takes only 5 to 10 minutes to complete the mapping, and it is one-time activity again. Next time it will be plug and play. Then you have to upload that data here. Upload configuration option is there, and when you upload the configuration, the interesting thing is here. You have option given whether you want detailed view of the balance sheet or clubbed view. The option is similar as condensed view. What F1 option is given in Tally. Similar basis, we provide detailed or condensed view of the balance sheet. Again, there is option given. When you go for preparation of balance sheet, if you have prepared your depreciation calculation in Excel, if you have your deferred tax calculation, you have your tax calculation, you have entered everything in Tally. Now only preparation of balance sheet is pending. You can go for OK. But if you want to calculate everything, then we provide you the options. You can calculate MAT or current tax, depreciation, as well as calculate deferred tax also we provide. So you have to select all those things and go for preparation of balance sheet. I will show you ready-made balance sheet output. So this is the output for Schedule 3 balance sheet. I will share it again. This is the balance sheet. My balance sheet is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So standard cover page is given because from Tally it is very difficult to determine the number of annual reports. So it is kept blank, user has to fill. But it is a standard one. If you want to use cover page, use it. Otherwise, you can skip it. Sheet 1 contains ready-made management representation data with standard clauses. You can alter the clauses if you want. Then balance sheet is there. Okay. So you will get all signatory details and balance sheet. You can see all Excel links are given here. Okay. And even you can jump to notes and you can jump back to balance sheet again. Hyperlinks are also provided. Okay. So balance sheet is there, P&L account is there. Notes given one below the other. All the notes are given there one below the other. Significant notes and accounting policies, standard one are given. You can alter the significant details. Ratio analysis is there. Only DSCR is not there because we pull closing balances. So we don't know how much principal repayment is done during the year. That's why it is very difficult to. Otherwise, I have to ask that question separately. How much amount of principal loan is there? But if there are multiple loans, it is difficult for user. So instead, you can go to Tally and calculate the DSCR. Cash flow is given. So cash flow from financing, investing, and operation activities. That cash flow is given. Disallowance blank note is given. You have to just go on because from Tally only determining disallowances is not possible at all. So you have to go to this section and like TDS related disallowances, you can add those. The section wise disallowances, if you go on adding here, those will be captured by calculation of income tax, etc. So here we calculate the MAT, the current tax, Now the rates, we have given a drop down for rates. You have to select correct rate, whatever applicable to that company. And then everything will be calculated automatically. And then software compares the MAT liability and current liability and state whether MAT is applicable or current tax is applicable. Then we calculate EPS also. Only thing is we cannot calculate, we cannot give details of related party transaction. Again, reason is same because we are getting closing balances. So it is up to user. You have to go to Tally company owner and ask for related party transaction. Note 4, we calculate deferred tax also, timing difference. It is based on difference between depreciation and not on the WDV. Okay. Note 11 is for depreciation calculation. So I have provided the one standard template also, but if every CA is having its own company law depreciation calculation template for each company, you can copy paste that because it is on Excel only. So it is not, it is up to you. It is not compulsory that you should use our template. So this contains everything, addition, deletion, all year-wise details, but it is suggested if you are having your own template, you can use that. In case of IT depreciation, because from Tally you will not get IT closing WDV, you have to manually write those WDV over here from previous year IT calculation, and you will get ready-made note over here. So this is how Schedule 3 is prepared. Also, there is a partnership firm. I will just show you how it works. Partnership related. This is there. Okay. So again, same idea. Only T-shaped balance sheet is there. Okay. So same basis is used, but only T-shaped balance sheet is provided for partners, and we calculate AMT also. So AMT calculation. So everything else is same. Only the presentation is in T-shaped format. Okay. And here we calculate IT depreciation. So all the figures are available in Tally only. You can directly calculate over here. Everything is available from Tally only in this case. And in same idea, same consolidation tab is given. So we have to select all group companies over here. And in configuration only, we have given you a unique identification number. So those ledger, if you want to merge those ledger in consolidation, you have to give them unique identification mark. Like suppose I want to merge loans and advances and data, particular loans and advances and particular data. Then I will provide you provide a number one to both of the ledgers. Then software will understand, okay, so software works on unique identification number. Those ledgers having a unique identification mark, software clubs them, and it clubs in the hands of head office. Okay. Or you can decide whether it should be shown under branches and branch or what is there is the option in Tally. Accordingly, show all the details under branches. Branches and division is the option. So that is up to you how you have to show. In case of, again, if you are going for partners balance sheet, then questions are changed. So here the questions are asked whether it is head office, yes, then whether how many number of partners are there, whether partners are using current account or not. So each kind of accounting style is captured by the balance sheet preparation software. Two important things I have not shown you. I think I will stop and I can share my details. Okay. So from ledger vision, I have not shown you important things. So I will show those things. Very, very important. I will again share my screen because of this interaction of. Okay, in ledger vision, there are 3 complementary modules. So one is, I will just share the screen again.
Sir, your screen is not visible.
Yes. Sharing. Okay. It is visible now?
Yes, sir.
So in this, I am showing you this reconciliation of opening balance on same Tally company, but technically, suppose you are starting up an audit, then you must be having a current year data which is recently received from client, and you must be having a previous year data which you have finalized in your office only. So while finalizing previous year data, we may have created some new ledgers, we may have passed some adjustment entries, some provision entries, finalization entries. That is so user is unaware of our client is unaware of those entries. So when we get data from him, it is our duty to compare the closing balances of previous year with the current opening balances. So suppose this is the company which we have finalized in our tally company, our office, and this is the data received from client only. Okay. There is an option given. It's not correctly open. Okay. So this is the previous year company. This is the current year company. You have to see wrongly. There should not be tick mark to P&L groups. There should be tick mark to only balance sheet groups. Okay. So wrongly, if there is any tick mark appearing in the P&L groups, you have to remove that tick mark. You have to pull data and run continue button. So software will compare the ledgers of the previous year company with the ledgers of current year company, and it will give the status whether the ledger is found in new company or not found in new company. Okay. So if ledger is not found in new company, then you have to manually add those ledgers in new company. Otherwise, opening balance sheet will not tally. Secondly, it compares. Okay, we'll wait for the result, so it will be easy for you to understand. This calculating and comparing only. So it compares closing opening balances. Okay. So this is the result. Because I am showing same company, you will get the status of found in new company only. But if at all you find the not found in new company status, this means these are the ledgers created in our office, which your client is not aware of. And then you have previous closing balances, you have new opening balances. If there is a difference, that will be stated here as yes. Yes means there is a difference, tally needs to update. And if there is no difference, it will be stated as no. These are the balances you have to confirm. Like suppose in case of individual company, if there are multiple drawings, LIC, tuition fee, etc., you want to club everything in one ledger, you can select that particular drawing ledger and add all the details and remove LIC, tuition fee, etc. amount, make that 0 and get total to the drawing account. That can be possible over here. So you have to select all yes over here, and then you will get only those ledgers listed where there is a difference. So you have two options available. Either, so these are the ledgers where there is a difference between closing and opening balance. So either you can download this to Excel and send it to client and ask accountant to update everything. But suppose the due date is very near, you don't have that much time. So option is you have to just click the update tally button. Software will go to new company and change all the opening balances with these new color balances. Okay. So if you again pull the data, you will not see any mismatch. Everything will be matched. So opening and closing balances are matched. And then there is two-way reconciliation, 2B reconciliation. I will explain 2B reconciliation. So USP of 2B reconciliation is, suppose you are having a group company having multiple tally accounting, but only one GST number. So you can open all tally companies in same tally, and you can select here all the list, and you can have a combined two-way reconciliation, means a single GST number with all tally companies. So you have to download all JSON files from portal only, .json files. You have to upload those files over here. And as I said, accountant never enter complete invoice number, they enter only numerics. So this option is given whether you want exact match, if you want to choose those invoices with invoice number only, or ignore special characters, ignore spaces in between, or you want to compare left 7 letters or right 7 letters. All options are given. I would suggest select all the items. Okay. I will show the result in Excel because this is the date of 1819. So 2B reconciliation was not available at that time. So I will show you the latest data in Excel only. So this is the data. Okay. So there is first report contains the summary, that is how much amount of GST is shown in JSON file and how much amount of GST credit we are claiming in tally. Okay, there is a difference of 24 lakhs, and that has been reconciled over here. That difference is because either GST or PAN number is not available in tally, or invoice number is not there. So invoice is not, we are not able to find invoices. There is a mismatch between tally and JSON, and we are claiming in tally but not in JSON. So we are claiming the credit, but JSON file is not containing those details. So there is a difference. And these are the details where JSON file are matched with the tally, and these are the probable match. All the details are over here. So in filter, you will see, there is the name of the company, whether it is B2B or B2C, what is the month of the JSON file. Now you must be knowing GST number may have a separate legal name, and in Tally there can be a separate ledger name for same client. Okay, so if the client is found in Tally, if GST number is there, we provide both name, Tally name as well as JSON name, so registered name. If GST number is not available in Tally, then we will only provide the party name from JSON, what is the invoice, etc. Now here the status are provided, or status are there, like if GST number is not found, then you are not able to reconcile the details. So it is suggested you have to update everything. All the GST numbers should be there in ledger master, otherwise two-way reconciliation is not possible. Pinpoint two-way reconciliation is not possible. Then second option is invoice not found. So if invoice number is not there, though we have found the party. So here you can see we have get the GST number from JSON. We have found the party in Tally. I have date, okay, but I don't have invoice, so voucher number, invoice date, everything is blank. So I cannot compare that with the JSON data. Okay, that is the problem. So then we can have match or we can have mismatch. Match means we have found everything. Like I have found the data, GST number, party. Okay, I even found the invoice, and amount is also matching. So exact match is there. 2 rupees difference is provided. That is up to you. Depending upon the audit modality, you can decide the rounding of amount. By default, we have kept it. Match of previous month. What is match of previous month? Here we provide the month of the JSON file. So in the month of September, if the invoice is from previous months, like in here the August invoice is there, or in this case July invoice is there. So they are matching, but they are from the previous month. Okay. Now mismatch is there. So what is mismatch? Mismatch means we have found, I have got GST number, I have got party, invoice number is also found, but amounts are not matching. Here the JSON amount is 5383, in Tally it is 5658, or here it is 4519, actually in Tally 4938. So everything is found, but amount is not matching. And the USP is probable match. Probable match means the invoice number in JSON is 100416, but in Tally it is 100416/2122. So software determines GST number, probable match invoice number, date, and if the GST amount is exactly matching, so you can see IGST amount in JSON and in Tally exactly matching. That's why it is shown as probable match. So here you can see if the taxable amount is not matching, but the GST amount is exactly matching, 85.5, then it will be treated as probable match. And the last report is in Tally, not in JSON. So it is the credit we are claiming, but it is not available in JSON file. So you have to follow up these parties, and these results will be shown in next month's reconciliation as match of previous month form. Okay. So this is all from I have concluded my presentation. I have shown you most of the important reports. Over to you, sir. Now we can have a question answer. If anybody is having doubts or anybody having some suggestions, we can update the software accordingly.
Yes, sir. Sir, you can stop sharing your PPT now so that we can have a question answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll open my.
Sir, if possible, can you please switch on your camera?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Vicky bhai.
Any chat box question? Nothing is there. Any suggestion, any queries related to TDS, GST, balance sheet? Vicky sir is asking something. Sir, you are not audible, Vicky sir. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now in question and answer session, if any students and members have any query, they can type in chat box or they can unmute themselves to ask any query to our speaker. I request our host Pawan Jaju sir to please allow participants to unmute themselves so they can ask the questions.
Yes, sir. Setting has been done. Now participants can unmute themselves
and can ask the questions. Members and students can type also in chat box. I don't think, sir, there is any query.
Either you have understood everything or you don't have understood anything.
No, sir, it was crystal clear.
Most probably
I'm
they all
addressing to
everything.
students, so not for me, but I'm addressing to students. This is our Davre sir's common reply to whenever we are muted, we don't ask anything. So he says,
But there is a one small request. If we can use a demo version or limited version of the software so that we can have hands-on, then we can probably ask queries.
Correct.
Just
Even we
by
can
looking.
I will share my website details 1 minute. I will share.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
1 minute. So this is my website. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
So ledgervision.in, I will just minimize this. So ledgervision.in, here the try it free option. You have to just fill in the Google form and you will get the demo version of LedgerVision. It is for 14 days. Only thing is, demo version is available for April, May and June. So if you want full version for demo purpose, you can contact us. We will provide you 3-4 tally companies for 8 to 10 days so that you can use. Even you want, we can demonstrate, we can sit with you on any days. We can help you in scrutinizing your own tally company so that you can compare your results, our results with your own manual results. Similarly, you can download Ledger Fusion from here. And so this is Ledger Fusion link. And if you want to have, like I have said, my software is self-explanation options is given. But if you want to see, you can have videos over here. So in detail video for all features or feature-wise smaller videos are also available there. Okay. So in detail video is there, or you can have smaller videos of 2 or 4, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, etc. How to run the TDS scrutiny, how to reconcile everything is shown. How reports and some of the recording of my previous webinars are also available there. So I request users to go for demo version. If you have queries, you can contact me. My contact details are visible if you go to our website again.
Okay.
I will show you my
website.
Yes, Vicky.
Yes. Now come to the closing remarks.
Yes, sir.
As the dear members, as we all know, upcoming looking at the complexity and challenges all we CA have, we will all have to equip with the all latest technology. And today's session is very much useful for all of our members and students. And with the help of the latest technology and your software, sir, you can surely see the hours of our working CAs and office staff. And after today's session, we can use the tally data in very efficient manner. So thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time and your techno-savvy tips. Also, thank you, Pawan Jaju, sir, for organizing this session. And thanks to CA Pawan Darak, sir, for just joining. Thank you once again. Over to you, MOC.
Sir, we have with us Pawan Bhai. Pawan Bhai, we would like to hear from you, sir.
Yeah.
Few words, sir, please.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, I would like to thank Oak sir for giving us a very good guidance.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Makyolan. And I would like to thank the members from the Ahmednagar branch, Amravati and Jalgaon branch, and the students for joining this program. And special thanks to Pawan Jaju for organizing and just with the association with Ahmednagar and Jalgaon. And once again, Niranjan Ronak sir, thank you, and please provide us 15 days demo. So accordingly, we'll make our mind. So thank you, sir. Over to you, Pawan sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your guidance and your session on this excellent topic. Now, officially, we conclude the program. We will be in touch with you, sir, Niranjan sir, and we will take the demo.
Anytime, sir.
And we will definitely contact you, sir.
Great, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yeah.
Great, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. We are concluding.